Welcome to Issues in the News on 9 News Nigeria. Issues in the News is a program that brings you trendy and topical issues around the country. On today's edition, we are looking at the 10th National Assembly Leadership Tussle. My name is Nsibo Doite. I am your presenter. And to do justice with me on this very trendy topic and interesting topic, I have with me in the studio two fine gentlemen. To my immediate right, I have...
Thank you for having me. My name is Abdulrazaq Baba Emeje. Of course, Nigerian first. And, well, I'm an entrepreneur, a graduate of University of Benin, Mechanical Engineering, and also an alumni of the London Business School. Former gubernatorial candidate 2019 Kogi State. And how do you even put that now? A withdrawer for 2023. Yeah, I withdrew. Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you in our studio, sir. And to my second right, I have the pleasure of having in the studio, sir. Kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you for this privilege. Honorable Nwosu Emmanuel is my name. I'm the CEO. Butterfly Telecommunications Limited, a service provider, and the Convener Progressives Advisory Forum for Good Governance. Of course, a national director with the Amalgamated APC support groups. Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you here, sir. And you are looking very apicious. Let me use that word.
Thank you for that.
Sir, I'll take on you first. As the crisis on the position of the National Working Committee regarding the leadership of the 10th Assembly continues to deepen, what is your opinion against the interest of some lawmakers?
Well, thank you. I don't think there's any crisis in our great party. The leadership of the National Assembly has a very statutory way of emerging, and the party can only but make suggestions. It's impossible for the party to say who will emerge. The party can only advise members of the party as to the interest of the party, and I think that is what is happening. You can remember that all the aspirants, both Federal House and the Senate, met with the leadership of our great party sometime 2 weeks ago, and it was a cordial meeting, and the national chairman very eloquently addressed them and told them that this is a race for them to settle at the floor of the National Assembly. Nonetheless, that the party will still look into how to harmonize opinions of members elect and the senators elect. So I don't see any crisis. The party is good to go.
So you mean there is no imposition of certain people for certain positions?
The party will normally say this is the way we want to go. But the party absolutely does not have the power to say that this person must emerge. It can't happen because the party leadership will not have a say on the day of election. It's only the senators elect, or the members elect, that we vote. So no matter what the party says, when they get to the floor, they make their decision. All the party does is to encourage members as loyalists of the party to consider the interest of the party. So I don't think that's imposition. I don't believe in imposition. I always said it that the party cannot impose candidates.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, the Labour Party is seemingly losing grip in the courts. What magic do you think can be done to reclaim the alleged stolen mandates of the Labour Party?
Wow. Seemingly losing grip. Yeah, that's the phrase. Well, I will subscribe to, first and foremost, leaving things to the judiciary. And as it is now, it's not news anymore that the judiciary has lost the confidence of the common Nigerians, the ordinary Nigerians, so to speak. But that being said, we do not know if the judiciary at this point in time would want to redeem themselves for the betterment of our country. So basically, as far as I'm concerned, we have put forward our cases, we have prayed to the courts, and we expect that all things being equal, the judiciary would, for the first time, do the right thing, do the needful. That's our aspirations for now.
Okay, so have you lost confidence in the judiciary?
Well, let me say that our judiciary is doing what it should do, considering the circumstances.
In the favor of your party?
Itself, not in favor of my party. You know, we have had serious pronouncements of courts across the country against the All Progressives Congress, even as a party in government, from High Court to the Supreme Court. Remember that in Rivers State, a day to the swearing in has never happened, unprecedented. The governor-elect had finished his parade, and the Supreme Court said you won't be sworn in, just for flimsy excuse that somebody's deputy has names that contradicted. Until date, nobody has come out to say those names that young man paraded belong to me. And so it's not about against a party. When the courts make pronouncements, you take it in good stride and in good faith. So that is the only way we'll have a peaceful society. If everybody says, oh, if it doesn't come my side, then the courts are compromised, then we're not a serious society. All across the globe, civilization requires that people, rather than taking the laws into their hands, they go to the court. And once the final decision is made, in Nigeria, a governor was removed in Imo State, and that governor was put. Imo is moving on. People must learn to accept the judgment of courts. Nonetheless, we will not say that all the pronouncements of courts are perfect. They are human beings. Remember that at the lower levels, the high courts, most of these judges depend on the executive for their well-being. So the governors literally decide who has a car and who has so allowance. And you must have to give it to them that if you go to a court in a state to challenge the interest of the governor, definitely you will have your fingers beaten.
All right, sir. Sir, in a historic precedent, the Labour Party has won 6 senatorial seats and 34 House of Representatives, making it the 3rd most popular party in the 10th National Assembly. What does this mean to you as an individual, and what does it mean to your party?
Well, in the first instance, being a card-carrying member of the Labour Party was premised upon the fact that we need to change the narrative of Nigeria today. We would all agree, irrespective of tribe, religion, and all of that, that all we want, in conclusion, is for Nigeria to be a better place. And governance is all about the people. So, with this going on forward from here, of course, things are beginning to move forward in the sense that that ultimate change for the good is now around the corner. That, for me, is what has happened now. And it's a win for Nigeria, not just Labour Party.
Additionally, you were a Guber flag bearer for Labour Party in Kogi State in the year 2019?
For United Democratic Party.
Okay.
And then for 2023, I was an aspirant who withdrew before the primaries for obvious reasons.
So away from the Senate tussle, how did it go?
In terms of...
Why did you withdraw?
Oh, really? Yeah. The thing about it is hypocrisy has never been on my... it's not part of my DNA, so to speak. And what I mean by hypocrisy, we had a situation where in Kogi State, we had joined the party. We were running
The
party,
race.
doing all we needed to do to promote the party and sell the party to the citizenry of Kogi State and Nigeria at large. And prior to the presidential election, where we had a situation of a successful outing by our presidential candidate, things now changed. In the sense that at the point before then, we were supporting the party. It got to a stage where some of us were even approached, why don't you just take the ticket now? You've done so much, the ideology, the commitment and all of that, And then as soon as the outing happened and it was successful, the next thing you hear, it's now 25 million for the ticket. It's now 15 million for the ticket. No, we now have another chairman. Somebody wakes up from somewhere and is like, no, I am the real chairman. And then you now have two factions of a party. They are now in court. And I'm like, no, I can't deal. This is not what I came for. We came to see how we can impress upon the people and change the narrative. But now we're going back to business as usual. And I'm very glad I did that, because as we speak today, Labour Party in my state privates two candidates who are trying to legalize themselves. It's still a tussle. We had the primaries run by Peter Obi, leader, and National Chairman Abure. Then we now have the supposed Apapa and his own people who came in there to run another primaries, and they have their candidate. So I cannot be in that level of shenanigans. So, and I'm glad I did. But I'm still a Labour Party member. I still believe in the cause. I still believe in a better Nigeria, and all the dust will settle soon.
And what about the division in the House, the fracas between two parties?
Now, nationally,
is it healthy?
Which of the two?
Both ways. Is it healthy for the party?
The thing is, of course, it is not healthy for the party, because what we're looking at now is these are things that usually happen in PDP and APC and all that. We don't do this, and we don't want to be that kind of party. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we are here. But then we want to believe that things will take its strides and things will get better, and we will move forward.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Nwosu, we understand that meetings have been held on behalf of the party's preferred candidates, specifically Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, to collect signatures of newly elected members. What do you make of this?
This is a normal process. Every session of the National Assembly, people jostle for positions, so it's nothing new, So you expect people to want to occupy political offices, and that is why my personal opinion is that outsiders should not meddle in the affairs of the National Assembly. Allow people who have contested and won elections to go there and elect their leaders. The moment parties can impose, if they want to impose, candidates within their jurisdiction. It's outside party jurisdiction to talk about leadership of National Assembly. So people should be allowed to do what they're doing. Collect signatures, that is the normal process. Do you want to support me? Yes, sign here as a guarantee. Whatever happens is between them, and we should just stay by and watch and see who emerges. But I am confident that the choice of the party may eventually prevail, because there are ways we are strayed. Our party is large, our party is in power, and governance is a great thing for everybody. So there are ways the party can influence subterraneanly what happens on the floor. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, who would Honorable Nwosu now? Who would you want to be the Senate president?
Well,
if you had
the party, and I have every reason to want to support the party's choice. For the Federal House of Representatives, I really want to support the party's choice based on merit. That young man is a silent, brilliant person. This is somebody who has midwifed bills more than any other person. He doesn't make noise. Brilliant and very intelligent. So on merit, I go for him. Any day, he has nothing, even if the party didn't bring him out. Such are the people we need. And if he emerges, Nigerians will see what will happen.
And in the upper house?
The Speaker did very well, but this guy will surpass him. I can assure Nigerians. For the upper house, well, to my mind, I think the party made a choice of Senator Abio based on balancing of offices, because we have got a president that is a Muslim, vice is a Muslim, and everybody said, no, give Senate president to a Christian. So I think I go with the party decision in that respect, because we must have to respect our society. We have Christians, we have Muslims. Even when we don't want to politicize along those lines, we must still respect it somehow. So I think Abio is good to go.
Thank you very much, sir. We need to go on a short break, viewers. Please don't go away. We're coming back right shortly. You're welcome back to Issues in the News on 9 News Nigeria. And we've had in the studio two amazing gentlemen, His Excellency Abdulrazaq Baba Emeje, former Kogi State Gubernatorial Candidate, a mechanical engineer, and a business entrepreneur. You're welcome, sir, once again.
Thank you.
I've also had in the studio with me Honorable Butches, Nwosu, an engineer, a convener, Progressive Advisory Forum for Good Governance, and also the National Director, Amalgamated APC Support Group. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Viewers, we've been talking on the leadership tussle in the Senate, and we've been doing justice to it. So, sir, the lawmakers, some of the lawmakers describe the decision of the National Working Committee as a deliberate ambiguity, not allowing the lawmakers to decide who they want as leaders. I remember when we discussed earlier, you kept saying that the party is not imposing. But this deliberate ambiguity of not allowing lawmakers to decide who they want to, I'm still asking, don't you think this is like an imposition?
Honestly speaking, anybody who says that does not have a mind of his own. I mean, if I'm a senator-elect and the party says, we suggest you support this person, I'll say, okay, I will examine the person. If I'm convinced, I'll support the person. If not, I will not. The party leadership or members will not vote. So I don't see why they hue and cry. I expect people to honestly examine the characters, the content of these individuals the party is bringing. I just gave an example with the young man who the party is endorsing for Speaker House of Representatives. Very cerebral, eloquent, sound, and we can see what he has done in the past sessions of the national. That is, it's not about noise. It's empty barrels that make the loudest noise. This is a man with content. What we do is to examine somebody's pedigree. And that is why a lot of Nigerians are celebrating the president-elect Tinubu today, because they examined his pedigree in Lagos and they said, no, if this man gets to be president, Nigeria will be best for it. In 2015, Lagos is a state. Oh, beautiful. It is just about principle. It's the small program, computer program, that you will put in your system to run a certain, activities that you can still put in a system to power the engine of a rocket. It's just about coding. It's the same thing. So what he needs to do is to set out what he did in the justice system of Lagos. When the present vice president was the commissioner of justice, you saw what transformation, which is what we've been clamoring for at the federal level. It is very simple, a pronouncement and implementation, and he will clean up our justice system. And that is the same thing he will do across board. So what I'm saying is the party will not and cannot impose anybody. We saw what happened in 2019. We saw how Saraki emerged. You don't try to twist people over whom you don't exercise 100% lordship. So all the party is doing is to encourage members. So I don't agree with such submissions that the party should allow us. The party is not holding anybody. The national chairman of our party has said it severally, for which some people criticized him, but I think he was being very honest. And he said the party will look at it again and be sure that we don't fall short of the rules of the National Assembly. When you go to the floor, obey your rules. Do your thing. We only suggesting.
Thank you very much, sir. His Excellency Abdulrazaq, why is it seemingly taking forever, 7 weeks here, for the presidential aspirant of the Labour Party to produce witnesses? Don't you think this could further delay hearings? Why 7 weeks?
You know, my take is anything worth doing.
It's worth doing well.
Now, you want to make a case. You're presenting a case. You've prayed to the court. You should be able to, how they say it in the justice parlance, judiciary, they said beyond reasonable doubt. You need to be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt what you're claiming, what you are postulating or putting forward. So you need the time. 7 weeks is not such a long time.
It's not.
Really.
No.
So long as you get it done properly. And do not forget that INEC has over time categorically refused to make evidence or make requests available to the party. I mean, it's out there, it's clear, it's not news. So I do not think it is too much of time to request for. I do believe that the president-elect has 4 years this tenure. So if you take 7 weeks to want to prove that he shouldn't be there, it's not so much of a long time.
In recent times, we have seen the court slamming some suits out of the courts. Don't you feel threatened that if you continue to press? Days back, Oworo was slammed with 2 million fine, and other people.
Yeah.
So,
really, of course, there's no place for frivolities.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come to the courts with frivolities, it's also against the law, because you're wasting the time and resources of the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be fined. For me, it's a good one because it's a deterrent to miscreants or mediocres coming to make a mess of a mockery of what we are dealing with.
Thank you very much,
sir. Part of that, yeah.
Honorable Nwosu, how factual is it that the Senate leadership is seemingly handpicked by the president-elect? Do you think this would tantamount to rubber stamping?
Well, absolutely, if it is. Well, I think, there is always a reward system in politics, and I don't shy away from endorsing it. If people have supported you all over the globe, it is so. I have not seen somebody who won election on the platform of Democratic Party and then picked a sharp critic from the Republican Party to come and occupy the best of the seats. So the reward system is there. And I was one of those who shed joyful tears in Eagle Square when Senator Akpabio stood up and made that eloquent speech before he stepped down for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I believe he deserves a good reward. Nevertheless, I don't think that the president-elect is forcing him on the people. He has a right to say, I want you to consider this man. And Akpabio is qualified to be the Senate president. He's a ranking senator. He's been a governor. He may have his shortcomings, like most people, but it's not an executive position. So it's just a lawmaking, arm of government. So I think the Senate, the president-elect has not imposed anybody, but as a person who believes in reward system, which is why everybody is excited that for those who supported him, you will not labor in vain. It is about politics. It's give and take. If you support me and I win, I owe you a debt of gratitude. And if I have a way of supporting your ambition, this is the ambition of Senator Akpabio. And as he supported the president-elect, the president-elect owe it a duty to support him. It is pure support, not imposition. So people feel, oh, I can't challenge the president-elect. Who said that? If you don't believe that Akpabio is the right person, tell the president-elect, sorry, sir, I supported you, but I will not support this person. The president-elect will not flog you. We're not in the secondary school. So why are people feeling that he's imposing somebody? He has a right to support a man who supported him at the most critical moment, when some people said we will never, even within our party, they meant that they will never get to see Bola Tinubu become president or the candidate of the party. So anybody who at that point, before or during the primary, that supported Asewaju deserves the support of every right-thinking member of APC. So he's not imposing. That is why some of us are saying Akpabio should be the Senate president. He may not be my choice because I would have preferred somebody from the Southeast. I'm from Anambra State. I believe the Southeast should be given. But for reward system, for what Akpabio did, is beyond tribe. Akpabio should be given that seat. And we believe that the senators are going to elect him.
I praise the Lord. It's also on the social media that some groups of the Akpabio, where he comes from, rejected him or feel that he's not fit. Isn't this worrisome?
No, you see, that is politics. Yeah, that is politics. You know, when you want to deal with somebody, you go to the root. Remember when they removed our former party chairman of Shomole? They went to his ward and brought some boys and gave them money and say suspend him, so that people in Abuja can now use it and remove him. And he succeeded. It's a game of politics. So you go to his place and get people. You know, a lot of people really need some money. So, I mean, I can stay here and send money to your village and give them. And it looks as if, oh, his people have rejected him. Again, I repeat, those people can talk, but they cannot act.
Yes.
June, when the convocation will be summoned, they won't be there. And Akpabio will emerge Senate president.
That's like a setting. Robert, it's sealed already. Well, for my take, Akpabio, irrespective, is a seasoned senator. No, I mean, he's a seasoned politician, rather. And he's been there, he's done that and all. My own take in this is, yes, reward system, fine. But I do not think reward system should be the, how do I put it now, top of the criteria for our Senate president.
He's an achiever.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Very eminently qualified.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's qualified. Yeah, he's okay. I think across board, let me see. Yeah, Akpabio, I don't know who else to mention that I could, put up to par or pariposo to say, okay, fine, this 1-2 can give you the good shot. So I think the odds seem to be in his favor.
Thank you.
From the outside, I mean, as an outsider, really.
All right, thank you so much. His Excellency, in the spirit of a new Nigeria that we all clamor for, what message would you have for the new government in lieu of your party's mandate recovery?
For me, if you believe in God, right? As advanced as America is and all of that, at the end of the day, when you check the dollar bill, in God we trust. It's what they have there. So, first things first, we have to believe in God. And when you give something your best effort, give an endeavor your best effort, and you don't achieve it then, it doesn't mean it's the end of the road.
Absolutely.
So long as there is life, there is hope. And you will keep attempting. For me, Nigeria as a nation, this election for me, we won. Nigerians won. Because for the first time in the history of Nigeria, the people stood up. They stood for something.
Oh, yes.
And they tried to achieve it. And at the end of the day, for the first time too, we are witnessing an inauguration that the government is in jitters. Until maybe yesterday and
why would the government be in jitters?
Because
I don't understand that part.
yeah,
We have been celebrating the
shed more
victory
light
all
on that?
through.
let me break it down. Let me break it down. The level of uncertainty of what the reaction of the people would be, the level of warnings by the DSS, the police, and all of that tells you that, of course, they do expect that there will be a reaction. Now, if you believe that all is well, you won't go that far.
No, you have to be proactive. We still have miscreants in the society who, no matter how well you govern, they will still want to disrupt the peace of the people. That is why security must keep warning them, because we're going to come hard at you if you want to disrupt the peace of the people. It doesn't mean that the government is in jitters or is jittery.
We all, anyway, bottom line is, so moving forward, so that we don't, moving forward, I would first of all applaud Nigerians and tell them that all hope is not lost. We're looking forward to a better Nigeria, and we would continue the struggle. And we should not expect that, power is not given now. You have to take it. You have to come for it, you have to take it. And this is the first real attempt by Nigerians, really.
We are Nigerians too. When you say Nigerians, Labour Party does not represent Nigerians.
The concept, the whole concept of this is, whether we like it or yes, we have to agree that over time we've had more of a kangaroo road leadership in this country, whether we like it or yes. I have friends, I have benefactors, I have all of them in these parties too. In fact, I just met you. We've met today, we'll be friends today.
Absolutely.
And all of that. But once in a while, we need to speak it as it is, or as we feel it. Of course, we stand to be corrected. But moving forward, as I said, it's a win for Nigeria. And by the next election, as we had mentioned earlier, the Nigerian citizenry that believes or are crying for this change will probably go about it in a more orchestrated manner, and we hope to see a better result.
What do they mean by change?
Are you willing to support this government succeed? The government that is coming in now, are you willing, as an individual and as a party, to give it your support for the betterment of our country?
You see, it's only in Nigeria that we hear of winner takes all in politics, really. I'm not a winner takes all person. I believe in the progress of our country.
The country, yeah.
As I said, I've had relationships across parties. I've had a brother-in-law that was the former governor. I've had, all sorts. And in every situation, so long as it's about what is good and progressive for the country, why not if not? It's not a thing of winner take all. It's a thing of let Nigeria be a better place. That's what it is about.
It's good to know. I think basically the notion that somebody who did not have party agents in almost 70% of polling units won election is not healthy for us. I think anyways that we expect everybody to work together. Let us give Asiwaju the chance he deserves so that he will transform this country for the betterment of everybody. He will do it. He has the capacity.
Okay, Honorable Nwosu, you are a strong member of the Amalgamated APC support group. The elections have come and gone. Beyond the swearing in, the inauguration, what is the next agenda of your group?
Well, the Amalgamated APC support groups is an organ established by the National Working Committee of our party to oversee all registered support groups. The essence is to have a body that the party can turn to so as to coordinate over 10,000 support groups in the party. And after the election, you prepare for another election. So moving forward, after the inauguration, we will not only be interfacing with the grassroots to get feedback for the government, we will also be taking the proceeds of good governance to the grassroots, because we are their leaders. They can all come to Abuja. Remember that support groups operate basically in the localities at ward level. So they are there hoping that now we have won this election. I hope the rural communities will have some form of benefit. It is our intention as leaders to interface with the government to make sure that the dividends of democracy gets to the people at the grassroots. So we'll roll out lots of programs that will ensure that such happens.
Thank you very much. It's been a very interesting time. I wish we could go on, but I've been getting signals to wrap up the program. And on a final note, one last word to Nigerians. What do you have to say? Just one word, a sentence?
As I said, fellow Nigerians, we did well this election. We'll do better the next one. Focus will now be on INEC. The next election will not be about candidates anymore. It's going to be us and INEC.
So one last word, one last sentence to Nigerians.
Expectation is high. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima will deliver. Watch out for these two things. Removal of fuel subsidy, which is in the interest of Nigeria, and then destruction of the double market exchange system, which has destroyed our currency. Thank you.
May God bring this to pass
support
for us.
Thank
you very much, viewers. I hope you have had an interesting time with us in the studio. In fact, I like the synergy, the energy. I was expecting that two of you should be nasty or cold to each other, but I love what I'm seeing, because Nigeria is the focus.
Absolutely.
So may God help us all. Thank you, viewers. Until we come your way next time, this is Issues in the News on 9 News Nigeria. I remain your presenter, Sidwell Doite. Leave a comment for us. Our media handles are down there below. Thank you for staying with us, and see you next time.
Thank you,
gentlemen, for
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Nice.